Here we're going to look at etiquette for staff and students, as well as what the student experience looks like if they use the Chrome app.
So now I'm logged into a Chromebook as a student, and all students have access to the Chrome Web Store. That's where they can add extensions, other software, but they can only add what's been approved already. One of the things that have been approved is Zoom. So I can type in Zoom, and I'm actually going to go past extensions and themes to apps. And the Zoom app, I can add it, which I already have, and allow it. And I'm not sure if it's recording my taskbar in this video, but in my taskbar, I do have Zoom. And just like on a teacher laptop, I can do a 2-finger click, and I can pin or unpin that app. So now also as a student, I'm going to my Gmail because all students do have Gmail. And here I have an email from my teacher that says I have a Zoom meeting, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it.
Now, I think it's smart to have your settings so students cannot join unless the host has started the meeting, just like you don't want all of your students in your classroom without you. And this is the screen that they would see.
Now, I believe the first time a student clicks on it, it might ask what their screen name should be, and I think I set that up a long time ago, but they can go and change that whenever they want to. You heard the doorbell. That means my teacher is already part of the meeting, and the meeting's being recorded. Now, as a student, I'm going to go down to the bottom and click on participants. I can see everybody in the meeting. And here I want to show you as a student, my settings as the teacher were to mute everybody. As a student, I can unmute myself here in the top corner, at the bottom corner, and then in the far bottom corner. So I have lots of ways to unmute myself. Now, I do think it's best to have everyone muted. And then as a student, I can raise my hand. And here you'll see my hand is raised. I have that little symbol. On the teacher side, I got a pop-up that says MJ raised hand. And I think at that point, if a teacher calls on a student, they can then unmute themselves. And I'm going to mute myself again. But then have them ask a question, mute themselves, and respond. So I would really only have one person or two people unmuted at a time and just use that as a form of etiquette. Now there's another portion down here where students can share, so I can share my screen as a student. Just like a teacher, I can do the desktop or any application, and I have the option to chat. Now in the chat field, I can chat with everybody or with just the host. And in my teacher settings, I made it so that students cannot chat with other students without including the host. So it's all or just the teacher. And those posts go here. And when I'm ready to lower my hand, I can do that. And the other thing I would have students look at is their view. So they can choose gallery view or speaker view. That's a little bit about what the student side looks like, as well as some etiquettes with muting, raising hands, and a little bit about the chat.
Now here I am back as a teacher on my laptop. I've opened up the Zoom app and I'm ready to start my meeting. So I'm going to click on my meeting. Hopefully yours have better names than mine, are more creative, and I'm going to hit start. Now, the first time I open this, I'm going to need to choose which type of audio. I'm going to use computer audio, and so I'm joining. And I do think it works really good to have a headset with a mic, but use what works best for you. Mine's set to automatically record, so I'm going to pause that. And it was a little cloud shape, so I know it's recording it in the cloud. Now, I'm hanging out here. I can see there's only me, and I'm going to now join as a student. Now my student has joined. I see their mic is off, their video is off, as well as my own. Now, but here's where I could unmute a student or mute them again. I do think it's an easy way to mute all or unmute all. I don't know that I would really use this one. If you have 25, 50, 100 people, I would mute all. And when you do, you're going to see there's an option. Do you want to allow them to unmute themselves? So that's going to be up to you. For right now, I'm going to turn mine off so only I can unmute them. And I think if I was running a class, I would just let students know that there's a little bit of etiquette, that as a student, I can open up the participant section and I can raise my hand. And you're going to see the little blue hand. So I know that student has their hand up. They can also lower their hand at any time. If you don't have the participant section up, if it's closed and a student raises their hand, you're going to see a pop-up. So either way, you're going to get that information. But I would probably have kids raise their hand, unmute them, have them talk, mute them again, and respond to the whole class. So you're going to work out your best workflow. chat, we've already talked about a little bit, but that's where I can see my chats. Something I would be wary of is when you end your meeting. I noticed when I just left the meeting, it would be similar to leaving the classroom and all the kids are still in there. So if you want to close it down for everybody, which is what I would suggest, I would end the meeting for all. The only reason I would leave the meeting would be if you're meeting with colleagues or there's other co-teachers in the virtual room, you could leave them, and then whoever the last teacher is the one that needs to just end the meeting for all. Stop my recording, and when I resume recording, again, you're going to see mine is cloud shaped because I'm recording to the cloud. And I do like that option because after it's all over, when I end my meeting, it's going to email me with a link of the recorded video. I can then take that recorded video, I can put it in my Google Classroom, send it through Skyward. There's just a lot of options to make that available for students to either watch again or students that were not able to join live to watch it later. Separately, I don't have to have any students in this room. I can simply create my own lesson. I can have a whiteboard behind me. I can use the virtual whiteboard. Um, Here, I can record myself talking or showing a website. Lots of things I can do. I think one that a lot of people are planning on doing is making a slideshow, showing that slideshow in presentation mode and talking through it. And you can record yourself with 0 participants and then just simply share that recorded link when you're all done. So those are just a few options and a few pieces of etiquette on how to host and run your meetings. Thanks.